Hi everybody, my name is Lachelle Weemy, and if you're getting this video, chances are you have been just a little bit curious about Rodan and Fields. And let's just see what you think about my story and my perspective, and then perhaps you'll discover that this may be for you. And I'm excited to help you along that journey of discovery. So let's get started here. A little bit about my background. So I got started on my Rodan and Fields journey really by happenstance. You see, I was invited to my friend's business launch, and you guys, I had never heard of the company. I was not washing my face. Whatever Pantene Pro V fell on my face in the shower was what I was using. And so let's just say that I was not exactly her target market. And I basically politely ignored her. And what happened was about a month later, I opened my eyes one morning to discover that the bags under my eyes that had never been there before were staring me right back in the face. And my eyes looked saggy and baggy and wrinkly and gross. And it felt like it happened overnight. But let's be real, like that had been going on for a while. And I hadn't noticed it. And I decided that day that I was ready to start taking care of my skin. But the thing is, you guys, is that I'm a little bit skeptical. And so even though my friend had invited me to her little get together, and even though I'd been seeing these amazing before and afters on Facebook, I still quite wasn't ready to drink the Kool-Aid, right? And so I decided to go to Target, and I bought something that I had seen advertised in magazines, and I gave that a try. And I still remember it was $69.99 for a 3-step process that lasted me about a month. And for a month, I tried that Target brand. And I'm gonna be honest, like I didn't see a difference in my skin. I didn't feel a difference in my skin. And so I had to kind of come crawling back to her after about a month of that and said, hey girl, like I saw your own pictures on Facebook. It was super impressive, like hook me up. And so she hooked me up with our anti-aging line, Redefine. And you guys, within days, my skin felt different. And within weeks, I was getting random compliments from people at work that don't give out compliments. And so it really caught my attention. And the first time that I was about to run out of my products, I decided to get a hold of that same friend. And I said, all right, girl, like give me the scoop on the cheapest way for me to get my hands on these products. Because honestly, I am a very, very, very money conscious person. And to be really transparent, I'm also a very money aware person. And I have to admit that all of these before and afters that were just kind of floating through my Facebook feed had been catching my attention. And I knew that my friends and family were going to end up trying these products eventually. And I knew that they would want to purchase products from somebody that they hopefully knew, like, and trusted, right? And so I thought, you know what, worst case scenario, I'm gonna get my products for a discount, and then if my friends and family wanna me to hook them up, then I can get them for reduced or even free. So that's really how I got started. And I did not see the big picture. I did not do a lot of research until after I was in. So I kind of did it backwards. But what happened was really a God thing. I felt like God was really tugging on my heart for a while to really look into this opportunity. And I wasn't listening because this is the reality. At that time in my life, I was busy. My husband's a basketball coach and he was about ready to start his season. I have had 2 kids at the time. I was working full-time as a nurse anesthetist and I was teaching for our Doctor of Nurse Anesthesia program. That fall, I was actually on the circuit to give 4 national speeches on anesthesia. And to top it all off, I was getting my degree as a doctor of anesthesia practice, and I was taking twice as many credits as I had been taking because I was so sick of school. And so you guys, I had no business starting a business. But I kept hearing this little subtle small voice saying, like, you need to look into this. And then one day on my way home from work, just by happenstance, I stumbled upon a podcast interview with one of our founding doctors. And what she had to say about the way that they got started and what their vision was for this company blew my mind. And I knew that this was my opportunity. First aha in this journey. And what that first aha did for me is recognize that not only can I get these products at a discount, and not only can I help a few of my friends feel more confident and empowered, but I can give the customer service that I hadn't been able to give at the hospital. You see, healthcare in general is just changing because it's trying to survive. And at the hospital, we all are really encouraged to utilize our time as best we can. And I was finding that I wasn't getting a chance to spend as much time with my patients as I had been. And so I really wanted to have a way for me to give back that customer service that I felt like I wasn't getting at work. And I also was noticing throughout this process that I was changing from the inside, you guys. When my skin started to change, my inside started to change. All of a sudden, I found myself standing up a little bit straighter. I found myself looking people in the eye a little bit more, and I thought, gosh, if I can help other people feel like that, like that's amazing. At work, I helped somebody out in that moment, but this is an opportunity for me to help just really change somebody's life. So I decided that, you know what, I'm gonna try a little bit. And then my second aha moment came. And you see, during this process, I was listening to one of the many training videos that our company has for us to learn. And what they told us over and over again is that if you are a student of the industry, because I had never sold anything in my life, if you are coachable, if you're humble enough to ask for help and guidance from mentors that want you to succeed, and if you're willing to get out of your own way and reach people who possibly could use what you have, you could literally change your life in 3 to 5 years. And serendipitously, my boss, around the same time I kept hearing this, announced to us that she was gonna retire in 3 years. And I literally thought to myself that normal path for me would be in 3 years, when she retires, I'm gonna apply for her job or the second in command. And that would be my normal path. And I thought to myself, you know, what would happen if I actually was coachable, if I actually was a student of the industry, and I just saw what happened in 3 years. And if this totally sucked, then I'm not out anything. I've just gotten a discount on skincare and I met some amazing people. So what am I out, right? And so I decided just to see what happens and think, you know, in 3 years I could, you know, apply for that job and spend a lot less time with my family, or I could, you know, give this a whirl and see what happens in 3 years, and maybe I won't feel the need to apply for that job. And that sent my business on a trajectory that has changed my life. You guys, within 6 months of that decision, I was making enough money to drop my time at the hospital by 1 day a week. Now, what that 1 day a week afforded me was a chance to spend time with my little girl who was gonna start kindergarten the next year, and I cannot get that time back. And so I'm so, so grateful. And so for me to be able to provide a vehicle for other people to feel loved and supported and positivity and fed into, while allowing them to achieve their dreams. They might have the ability to want to stay home with their kids and can do it. They may want to travel the world. They may want to retire. They may want to pay off their house early. Whatever it is, I get a chance to be a catalyst to seeing that happen, and gosh, this has been so much fun. So, why in the world would someone like me, a nurse anesthetist who has a really good job and no really extra time on my hands, why would I invest in something like this? What stood out to me to catch my attention, and why are so many other people getting into this industry and this company specifically? And I'm gonna tell you a little bit about what I learned that day in the podcast and what I've learned over the last 2.5 years in this business. The first thing that I have to say is that the founding doctors, Dr. Rodan and Dr. Fields, are two of the most empowering, impressive women I have ever seen in my entire life. These two women are Stanford-trained dermatologists who met in residency. And back when they were in residency, they really recognized that there were a lot of their classmates and people in their lives that were struggling with acne, and saw firsthand the terrible, debilitating effects that can have on their confidence. And they decided to put their brains together and come up with a way to help bypass our cumbersome healthcare system. No more primaries, referrals to specialists and healthcare insurance copays. Let's figure out something that can actually help transform skin without all of that and make it effective. And they started Proactiv. And they built a $1 billion company with Proactiv, highly, highly successful women. And they could have stopped there. You guys, these women could be sitting on a beach drinking margaritas right now, but instead, you know what they're doing? They're running this $1 billion company. They're still practicing dermatology in their office in San Francisco, and they're still teaching at Stanford. So they have a servant heart. They want to lead other people, and we have been given the opportunity to partner with them. How many of you would ever thought, gosh, if I would have gotten a chance to partner with Proactiv back when they launched, like, what would my life look like now? Hello, like, this is your chance, okay? So Here's the scoop. They're still practicing dermatology. They sold Proactiv, and they were recognizing that people were coming to their office for way more than acne. And so they approached the company that they sold Proactiv to, and they said, hey, we would really like to launch other skincare lines that address the 4 main reasons people come to our office. One of them is the anti-aging. They want to prevent or treat wrinkles. Another is sunspots or sun damage from exposure. Another one is sensitivity and irritation, or people that suffer from things like eczema and psoriasis and rosacea. And they wanted to help with acne as well. And so they approached these guys, and honestly, they were not interested. They're like, we already are marketing one thing. We don't need to market anymore. So thanks, but no thanks, and good luck. And the doctors were not going to give up. And that's what I love about their spirit. And so they decided to go ahead and they developed Rodan & Fields. And how they got started was they actually sold that company to Estee Lauder. And Estee Lauder put them into high-end department stores like Nordstrom's and Neiman Marcus. And they were the #1 selling clinical brand in those stores. They were doing successfully there. You know, like, why would they do anything different? But one of the things that they found was that people were coming in to purchase their products because of word of mouth. They did an independent research market analysis, and that's what they found. And they felt like their products were trapped underneath these glass counters, and they really, really wanted to help more people. So they're super, super bright. And they also noticed a couple of things. They noticed that around 2000, so this happened with the Estee Lauder and Rodan & Fields about 2002. In 2007, they noticed that Amazon was starting to take off. E-commerce, people buying online, was starting to rise, and people were not going to the malls like they used to. They also noticed the rise of social media. Facebook was starting to explode. And they thought, you know what? Word of mouth is huge, e-commerce is huge, and social media is huge. Let's buy the company back from Estee Lauder. And that's what they did around 2007, 2008. And they bought the company back and decided to go into the direct sales route. Now, basically, what this means is that I have been allowed to partner with the #1 selling skincare brand in North America. I get a chance to be a business owner in this empire and ride on their coattails, and this is so stinking amazing. So, a couple of things. They have literally risen to a $1.5 billion industry in less than 8 years since they've gone to the direct sales market. So that has been huge. The other thing that we have done is caught attention from pretty big names. So we've been written about twice in Forbes magazine, and Harvard Business School actually did a case study on Rodan & Fields business models and teaches it in their business school, which I think is amazing. The other thing that I think is pretty impressive is that there is a company called TPG. Now, TPG is a private investment firm. In May of 2018, they actually bought a minority share in Rodan & Fields. They had been kind of courting them for a while, and they wanted a part of our action. You guys, this is the deal with TPG. They are an investment firm who has been known to partner with disruptors. A disruptor is something that disrupts the industry. And they've partnered with things like Spotify, Uber, and Airbnb before those companies went gangbusters. You see, TPG watches companies that are disruptors, and they want to get in on them right before they take off. And so TPG has been watching Rodan & Fields. They wanted a seat at our table, and they wanted to take us to the next level because here's the deal. We're only in the United States, Canada, and Australia. Proactiv, by comparison, is in 180 countries. We're only in 3. We're just getting started. In fact, the doctor's goal is to be the #1 skincare brand in the world, and I get to be a part of that. So, little background for you. We got there to the #1 selling skincare brand in North America, all price points. We beat out companies that have been around for decades in a matter of a couple years, surpassing all of them. We're the fastest growing skincare brand since 2010. We're the #1 anti-aging brand, and we're the #1 acne brand. Okay, acne. You know another company with acne? Yeah, I've mentioned them a couple times, right? Now the crazy thing is that Proactiv spends, what I've been reading online, about $500 million a year on advertising. Do you know how much Rodan & Fields spends? 0. You know why? Because I'm their marketing department. The company gives me my own website that they handle for me. They basically take care of all of the deliveries. They take care of all of the money exchange. I don't have to have an inventory. I don't have to exchange goods. I don't have to exchange money. I basically am their virtual franchise owner, and I'm their marketing department. So I tell my friends and family about products that I'm willing to risk my reputation on. And when the products work, which they do, and if they don't, we have a 60-day money-back guarantee. So I'm not out anything. And I get to help my friends and family feel confident, and I get to help them in the business realm by giving them an opportunity for their dreams. And you guys know what about this business that I love too, is that unlike my job at the hospital, you don't have to have a fancy degree. You don't have to have a fancy title in order to be successful. You guys, we're given all the exact same tools, this amazing supportive community, all of these rewards like cars and trips and gifts, and all of these things are all the same. They're offered to all of us, and we just have to do something with it. And I think that is so empowering because it doesn't matter who I am or what my degree is or what my last name is. Like, I get to make this what I want to make it, and I get to help other people be successful along the way. Like, how cool is that? And so if you feel like this is something that is spoken to you, if you feel like you can really get the potential in this, then this is an opportunity that you definitely should take to the next level and just learn a little bit more. Talk to me, figure out whether or not this could be meeting your needs. And I'm glad you got a chance to watch this, because when we talk, I want to hear all about you. I don't want to talk about me. Let's see if this can fit in your life for you. So thanks for listening, and I hope that my excitement and my belief in what I'm doing can help you as well. All right, bye.